courage. To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack.
The dead return!
Lend me your strength.
The lunar flame.
Show your courage. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Ready for another? Lend me your strength.
Blade of me.
Net markers activate. Time for a good old counterattack. Situation has changed. Show your courage.
The moon shines on the truth.
Lend me your strength.
In the lunar flame. Blade of moon.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Receive divinity. The dead return! Nothing major.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Ready for another?
Blade of moon.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
In the lunar flame.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Entangle. Wrath of nature. Lend me your strength. Lend me your strength. Ready for another? Punish me. Reaper.
The dead return!
Blade of moon. In the lunar flame.
Repay!
To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack. Lend me your strength.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Lend me your strength.
I taste malice in the air.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Blade of me. In lunar flame.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
Try harder.
Receive divinity.
Lend me your strength.
The dead return!
We will come.
Receive divinity.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
The dead return!
To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength.
In lunar flame. Blade of me.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Doesn't fall.
Cascade.
The dead return!
To guard and defend. Crush them.
Unscathed. Suppress. We will come.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
Blade of me. In lunar flame.
Lend me your strength. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Ready for another? Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
The dead return!
Lend me your strength.
Threat raised.
Not good.
Receive divinity. Repay.
Blade of me. Unscathed.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
The dead return!
In lunar flame. Suppress. We will come.
Underestimate. Receive divinity.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength.
Component damage.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
The dead return!
In lunar flame. Suppress.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
The moon shines on the truth.
Lend me your strength.
Blade of moon.
Receive divinity. Bloom. Repay. The dead return!
Ready for another?
Immortality means forever.
In lunar flame.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength.
Sacred of the saints.
Net markers activate. Time for good old counterattack.
Blade of moon. In lunar flame.
Lend me your strength.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Ready for another? Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength. Ready for another?
Blade of moon.
Lend me your strength.
In lunar flame.
Enemy situation has changed.
Let's wait.
Repay.
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nothing major.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
The dead return!
Try harder.
I'm just warming up. Lend me your strength.
Blade of me.
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Lunar flame.
Receive divinity.
Cut through the ranks.
Repay. The dead return!
To guard and defend. Crush them. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. You're all in on it. Lend me your strength. Out of moves.
Receive divinity.
Ready for another?
Blade of me. Lunar flame.
The dead return!
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. To guard and defend. Crush them. Lend me your strength. Cut through the ranks. Try harder.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Punish evil. I'm just warming up. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Receive divinity. Repay.
Lend me your strength.
Blade of me. Lunar flame.
The dead return!
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Lend me your strength. Exhilarating. Troublesome. To guard and defend. Crush them. Come get me. You're all in on it. Lend me your strength.
Receive divinity. Repay. The dead return!
Ready for another? Net markers activated. Time Time for good old counterattack! Ouch!
Try harder. In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Out of moves! Punish evil! Net markers activate! Time for good old counterattack! Cut through the ranks!
Be permanent.
To guard and defend! Crush them!
Troublesome.
I'm just warming up.